Today's video will be about buying a used third gen truck, the differences between third gens, and things to look for on third gen trucks. For the heavy duty diesels, third gens run from 2003 to 2009. Test drive. First thing, take it out on a test drive, get the engine warm. When you get back, check for blow-by. I'll show you a blow-by test as soon as I'm done driving here. Check for leaks. Water pump leak is a common one. It's on the front of the block. It's coolant. It's just a headache. It's not expensive. It's just a headache. Pans. Check the pans. Oil pan, trans pan. Check your diffs. Check your axles. Look on the inside of the tires, at the knuckle area. Make sure there's no oil coming out. That would be bad axle seals, and that's a headache too. It's not that common though, but it's a headache. Neither is pan leaks either. I mean, some people say these trucks run wet. It's normal to see some leaks, but mine's dry as bone underneath. So they do have the potential to be dry. Turbo. You don't want to see any oil coming out of the turbo, or oil does not belong outside of the turbo. It's meant to go through the turbo, but not seep from it in any way. I wouldn't run a truck that had oil coming out of the turbo. So test drive, try and get through all the gears, try and get on some open road, make sure all the shifts happen properly. And if you can, jack up the front end, make sure that's tight. When you drive it, the steering shouldn't be all over the place. It shouldn't be loose, it shouldn't be sloppy, it should be tight. If you jack up the truck, grip the tire at 12 and 6 o'clock, make sure it doesn't wobble around. Just a slight bit of movement or noise is okay, but if it's anything more than just a little bit, that's almost not noticeable, that's probably an issue with ball joints or maybe wheel bearing. So you want to make sure your front end's healthy, because out of all things on this truck, and I've had it for 114,000 miles, and I haven't had many of the issues that other people claim are the main ones. I've just had to rebuild the front end, that's all. So front end is a good thing to check. I didn't check it. I was once in your shoes where I was, what the heck, trying to buy a third gen used with no idea of its maintenance history. I took it out for a test drive, drove okay, so I bought it. I didn't check for leaks, I didn't check for front end, I didn't check any of that. I just got lucky. That's not what you want to do. You want to go in with knowing what you're doing before you buy that truck. I just happened to get lucky because I didn't know that much about these trucks when I got into it. So those are the main things. If they've made any modifications, see if they've got receipts. It's always good to know the maintenance history, how it was maintained, what's all on the truck. It's easier to find that out if you buy it from a actual owner of the truck than if you buy it from the dealer. I bought it from a dealer, and this truck was purchased at an auction. So dealer bought the truck, sold it to me, from an auction. They're like, all right, we'll buy it and sell it. And I ended up with it, and they didn't care to figure out anything about its history. All they know is it wasn't in an accident, which is good to know. But you don't know anything about the powertrain or its history. So, of the third gens, there's many different types. Different engine outputs, different transmissions, different styles, some different changes that occurred throughout the third gen time frame from 03 to 09. The truck we're in right now is 2003, and it's an early 2003. It's got a standard output engine, which was available in the early days of 2003. And the standard output only makes 250 horsepower. It's basically about the same as a high output second gen. And it's also got a 47 feel as though with that 250 horse, it's a lot easier on the trans. And that's why you got a 47 RE in here, because it was an acceptable transmission for the output. Now for 48 RE, very similar to 47, just a couple different materials for some of the internal components and a little bit different internal pressures on that transmission, but overall pretty much the same as 47. And then you've got your NV 5600 6-speed manual, cast iron construction on that versus the G56, which was 6-speed manual with aluminum. But before I get really into the transmissions, I should talk about what other output of engines there are. So this is the standard output we're in. There was also a 305 horsepower, 555 pound-feet of torque model. This one has 460. The 305 555, in my opinion, is probably the best because it combines wondrous fuel economy with fairly good power. It gets better power than the 320, or better fuel economy than the 325 horse engine. That one has 610 pound-feet. So that, if you're interested in that, that would be on 04.5 through 07.0 model years. The 305 with 555 torque is found on the 2003, 2004, and that's it. 2004 and a half started the high output 325 horse engine. So those are your options. And then at 2007 and a half, there was a complete engine change, and that was for the 6.7 liter engine. This one made 350 horse and 650 torque, and there was also a transmission change for 07 and a half, a move from a 4-speed auto to a 6-speed. The transmission was the Chrysler 68 RFE, and you've also got the G56 manual on the 6.7s. All the 6.7s have that option. So those are all the outputs. Now, transmission-wise, so you got very early 03s with a 47 RE. Everyone else from the rest of the 03s, 04s, 05s, 06, and early 07 have the 48 RE auto available. 48, 47 don't have the best reputation, but they're really easy to build, and you can build them to hold a lot of power. So a mildly built 48 is a very tough transmission. Now, manuals have a better reputation. NV 5600, that's your cast iron block, your more old school style 6-speed, and they're just durable. They're really good. They're durable. The G56, that's your aluminum construction one, and that aluminum helps dissipate heat better. G56 is a very strong transmission by itself. Stock form, it'll hold 5, maybe even 600 horse. The only thing you may want to upgrade is the clutch. So you're solid with the G56 as well. So let me get to where I'm going here, and I'll show you a blow-by test before we get into some of the other differences between third gens. Here's the blow-by test. Now you've got a warm engine here. Remove the oil cap with it running. You can see just a slight bit, that's good news. If you see big clouds, that's bad news. You can even try and balance it like this, and it should stay. It should not be blowing pressure through. If this is like you see here, that's a good, healthy engine in all likelihood. So under the hood here, one thing you want to take a look at is just make sure there's no coolant leaks and things. Heater cores back there, and that heater core pipe right there, you know, this one looks a bit, you know, dinged up, but this is not a bad one. They get a lot worse like that, and they're usually fine. So don't panic if yours looks a little bit dinged up. Here's the manifold. There are a few differences in the various third gens between 5.9s, and then of course there's the 6.7. So one thing to note is this is an 03, and also early 04s had a different injector spray pattern or spray events. They only have 2 injection events, whereas the 04.5 and up through 07 have 3. And most people say that injectors seem to last longer with just 2 spray events. Kind of makes sense. So that's on 04.5 up, you'll have the 3. On 03 and early 04, you'll have 2. Another difference is the pistons. 03, early 04s, they've got slightly different pistons than 04.5 to 07. A lot of people, when they rebuild 04.5 to 07 engines, they'll put 03, 04 pistons in. Why they do it, I'm not sure, but for some reason, people prefer that design. Another difference is on turbos. Here we've got an HE 341 turbo. This one has mechanical wastegate actuator on it, or mechanical wastegate. HE 351 starts in 04.5, and it's electronic. That's really the only difference between them. I'm not sure if there may be some minor performance differences as well, whereas the 04.5 with the HE 351 might be slightly more potent on its performance. Next difference is fuel pumps. 03 and early 04, if it still has the stock fuel system, the fuel pump is located on the rear of that fuel filler canister that's in the middle of the screen. You can kind of see the little wiring harness, ribbed wiring harness there going to the little pump. That's on the 03 and 04, and that's probably their weakest item on this whole truck. They're known for sudden failure. That's why I carry a spare one with me in the truck. Now, your truck may have an advanced aftermarket fuel system on, such as a FASS or AirDog, and that's great as well, or it may have been converted to the in-tank pump, which generally lasts a really long time, oftentimes the length of the truck. Chrysler started putting those in 04.5, but it's possible to even find an 04.5 with this filter mounted pump. But if it has it, it's not a big deal. It's just how you deal with it. Either you go with that FASS, switch to in-tank pump, or buy a spare filter mounted pump. They're very easy to change. And so overall, that's the weakest point of the 03 and early 04 trucks. So headlights. You can see these got the, I don't know, I call these the bubble headlights, the little bubbles at the bottom. These are the early 3rd gen headlights. They've got the bigger headlights, and those started in 06. But 03, 04, and 05 look like this. The fenders and the grills are also slightly different to accommodate the headlights on the 06 and up trucks. Steering wheels got changed for 2005 model, so you can get a truck with this look and the cooler looking steering wheel. Here's your standard steering wheel. The newer ones look a little cooler, and they've got a chrome ram head on it. Interior wise, there's some differences, like 06 and up might have navigation different features like that. For the most part, the interiors were very similar across third gens. Another thing you might take a look at is the exhaust. 03s, 04s, early 04s I'm talking, just had a muffler. That was all that was on there. This truck, of course, is straight pipe. Well, straight pipe from the turbo back, at least. 04.5 and up had a catalytic converter on there. Now these cats, well, it was an attempt at some emissions. They don't really do anything besides, you know, get clogged. Here's your gauge cluster. On 2006 models in particular, you could have electronic issues with this that require just some of the connections. This isn't really a problem on any other model year for some reason. So overall problem issues, all third gens have the weakness of injectors. The extra injection event on the 04.5 Plus kind of you know, magnify that issue a bit, according to certain people. But overall, third gens are solid. Common rails are great. They're efficient. They're reliable. VP44, they've got CP3 instead. They don't have tappet plates and other annoying things from earlier Cummins trucks. They don't have 53 block, you know, so there's great things about common rails as well. The 03 and 04, their big weakness is the lift pump. Very inexpensive, but be prepared. Either put a better pump on or have a spare. The other trucks, 305 horsepower engine, better MPG than 325. 325 is nice. I mean, to get 610 torque stock in a 5.9 was very nice. So really, any third gen you go with can be solid truck, million-mile truck. They all can. 6.7s, 5.9s, any generation. 53 block could be a million-mile truck. So whatever you go with, just check out the main things. Front end, make sure it drives good, no leaks. With that said, your choice of transmission, just, you know, I personally would recommend the manual transmission. Even though I got an automatic here, I didn't want a manual at first, just like I didn't want a long bed, and now I want a long bed and a manual. So it's no worries. I wouldn't trade this truck for anything. You know, that's why I keep it. So hope this helped y'all out if you're in the market. Take care. Let me know if you have any more questions. I'll be happy to answer. Fun little thing. The camera right now is mounted in one of the holes in the dash. Fits perfectly. Great feature.